Alright, so go through that whole thing again. Just maybe say it a little louder so we can get on the video.
Okay. Alrighty. So club down, shift feet, check grip, right hand up, sink down, straighten left arm, chin up, relax grip, relax arms. (16, 17).
Okay, good. All right, so this is information that you've been working on and processing, right? And so as we go through what we're about to do today, I'm going to record it so we have a good kind of progress of what we're doing. So what I can tell right away when you started kind of going through your system there, it's not very fluid, athletic, natural. It's a little robotic.
Very robotic.
Right? Very process system oriented, which can be helpful. Like, we always need to strike a balance between, you know, the creative side, which is like, I'm just going to stand up and rip it, and the, you know, the mechanical procedural side, which helps us with steps and like it's kind of like a recipe for cooking. Like, okay, I got to take these eggs and I got to whisk them up with this first, boom, 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 right? But at the same time, you should be able to add some of your own natural athleticism in there. So I want to see what your athleticism is first before we go robotic.
Okay.
So it seems like maybe when you first started with some lessons that you got a little robotic in my mind, right?
Yeah, well, I approached it as I'm also a software engineer.
Yeah.
So it's always been an approach. I've always taken the approach of, if I record everything,
Yeah.
then the outputs should be the same.
Yeah. Yeah, consistency of input is consistency of outcome, but at the same time, there has to be some type of athletic fluidness to that, right? So let's take a quick look over here. Come with me. Let's set your club down. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab a weed whacker. All right, so take that weed whacker and come on over here, right? So what you'll find in my backyard here is some weeds and really just these stalks of grass, right? So what I want you to do is, if I said, all right, Julian, I need you to mow all this down. Here's the height that it was here, or here's the height we need. That's too long. Let's mow it down. You get to use one hand. So go ahead and pick a hand and pull it up and just kind of chop that. There you go. Do it again. Yeah, really good. Yep. Okay, now let's switch to the other hand. Right, now in this case, since you picked the right hand first and you cut the weeds in that direction, away from me, I want your left hand to also cut the weeds away from me.
Okay.
Yep, right. So I don't want you to think about this as golf swing.
Okay.
Think about this as, all right, Coach Craig said he doesn't want weeds in his yard. This is not a golf lesson. This is like Karate Kid. We're going to do some waxing on and waxing off, right? Pick the club up, whip it. There you go. Do it again. Good. Yep. Good. Now let's do the right hand. Yep. Pull it up, and you're going to whip it the opposite. Yeah. There you go. Good. Nice. There you go. Try again. All right. Now, what would happen if you took a golf club and you did that? What do you think?
Chunk Central?
Maybe. You might hit some home runs too, right? So you probably haven't thought about swinging a club like this before. No. Right? Right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to try it. We're just going to see what happens. Right? So come on over to your station here. So what I want you to do is just kind of stand here. There's no weeds now, but you still have your weed whacking stick. I don't want you to hit the ground, but I want you to use just your right hand only. Pull it up and whip it through, and just whip it through the air just like you were doing. There you go, right? Now, wouldn't that be cool if you could connect with something, with a ball?
Yeah.
And do that. Yep, so pull it back. Yep, and then whip it, right? So now what we're doing is we're swinging athletically and freely. So we're going to start there, and then we're going to move into something that's maybe a little more structure, right? Because I know you like structure. Your brain enjoys that, but at the same time, let's be athletic. So take the driver at that end. I'll take the stick. Now I want you to hold it with 2 hands. Yep, take your grip. Now, why are you gripping with your fingers interlocking? It's probably because you were told to do that.
I saw, well, actually, originally I didn't have them together, and then I saw, what was it, pretty much
Oh yeah, Nicholas does it, Tiger does it.
But
yeah,
mostly Tiger.
Yeah, right. So the point is, like, this is actually interlocking your fingers. There isn't any real biomechanical reason for it. So let's not interlock them. Okay. Let's just go back to 10 fingers and make sure you don't hit the ground with your driver because you might break the shaft.
Right.
So just pull it back and whip it through the air, just like you did, right? So we're not playing golf swing. No, that was horrible. that was your mechanical old swing.
Okay.
I want you to stand up, whip that stick like you're cutting weeds, right? So pull it back, whip. There you go. That's how I want you to swing a golf club. I don't want you to do the robotic mechanical one. So whip it through. Yeah. Okay. Now flip the club over. Yep. Do you have a glove?
I do.
Yep. Put that glove on, because as fast as you're swinging, this club might come flying out. Alright, so just take your grip, do the 10 fingers, kind of hold it. Yeah, the thumb of your left hand should still go down the shaft. Yep, just like that. Now just stand tall. Like, there isn't really such a thing as bend the knees, bend the back. When I told you to go whack weeds, you kind of took a golf stance to weed whacking, but then I said, don't worry about it. Just weed whack. So stand tall and swish it. Pull it back and whip it through. There you go. Right? Let's do that again. It's kind of more like a baseball swing, right? Kind of pull it. Yep. Kind of pull it back and whip it. Right? Now let's put a ball on a tee, and let's see if we can make contact. So tee one up right there. In fact, do it right here. Tee up right here for me.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, pull it back and just whip it through there. Just like weed whacking. There you go. So, how do you like that one?
That was the straightest it's ever gone.
Yeah. And so here's your numbers. The TrackMan machine, the radar was on, so you'll like some of this tech stuff. So what we have here is 101 mile an hour club head speed, right? And then this is spin rate, 4,000 RPMs of backspin. And it carried 181, so it's kind of low, but it went 230, right? Now the reason why it didn't go 300, which to be honest is a real possibility once you start hitting over 100 miles an hour. The problem is when you struck it, you hit the face. Go and hold it right there. You hit the face like down here, like you barely even hit the face. So
is that because I was standing too far back?
We don't care.
All right.
Just try again.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, could be because of a few different reasons, but we don't really care about that.
Fair enough.
Right, so that's a weed. You're standing tall. You're not really thinking about it. Relax your arms, relax your shoulders. Pull it back and pretend it's a weed, and you're just gonna rip the top off the weed. There you go. So that appears to be 2 of the straightest drives of your life. And that was good. So that was 103 miles an hour, right? So that was good speed. So we're gonna get to step 2 here real quick. So go ahead and just whack the weed again.
All right.
Have fun with it. Yep. Pull it back. Relax your arms and shoulders. Pull it back, way back, and then throw it really fast. There you go. That was even a little draw. Right?
What's going on?
It's kind of like smoke and mirrors. It's just all magic happening.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
So Heath was right.
Heath,
This is the magic Korn.
exactly, yeah. Right? So, well, the way you were going about it was like building a robot with maybe some software and process, right? The problem is, looking at your build, you're a big, strong guy. You shouldn't be playing golf any other way other than just stand up and rip it, right?
Right.
So, that's
literally how I do everything. I mean,
yeah.
I played defensive end in college.
There
so
you
it's
go.
like,
Yeah, so relax your arms and shoulders. Now I'm going to refine this a little, right? So pull your arms way back for me and just stop at the top of your backswing, just like baseball kind of batting backswing. So pull it back and stop. Good. Now, we're going to fix all this. So stand taller, bend your knees just a little, relax all this. There, right? If you get back to here, right here with your arms relaxed, you can use these strong arms to just go pop, right?
okay.
So you can really accelerate from soft arms. When your arms are really stiff, it's bad acceleration, right?
Okay.
So I'm going to give you your weed whacker stick back just so you can see that. So let's do the weed whacker stick. So just stand in your station, pull your left arm back, just left arm only, and just hold it there. Good. Now relax your neck, relax your shoulders, shrug your shoulders. Good. Now quickly kind of go like this, backhand. Yep, and then go all the way through. There you go, right? So the ball, it doesn't stand a chance in the way of that type of speed. Okay, now do it with your right hand. Yep, right hand only. Pull it back, and then whip it. Boom, right? Lightning fast. Now, how are you holding it? So let's go back to the left hand. So the thumb sits on top just a little bit.
Okay.
Right, now pull the left arm up and relax, kind of shrug your shoulders. Okay, now right here, right off of this thumb, that's the alignment of the throw. So when you go like this, it goes thumb throw. So when you whip it, yeah, like that. And then once you've whipped it out off that thumb, just let it go. Let it roll over, let your wrist kind of roll over. There you go. Right, so the pressure that you put on the thumb is kind of where the direction goes, right?
Okay.
So swing back and stop. All right, so we'll come in here from your perspective. So look at your thumb. All right, so I'm going to put the screen in here. It's hard to see. But if I threw your thumb over that way, that's a bad slice. If I threw your thumb over that way, that's a nice draw. Right? So the direction that you throw the club kind of affects the outcome. Right? So picture like you're sitting on the swing at the park, right? So just stand there, turn around and face the range. So just face like I am, right? So turn right. Now sit down on the swing, right? Now, if I was going to push you on the swing, I would pull you back, right? And then I would push. Well, the direction that I push is the direction that the club moves. So if I pulled you back over here, and then I swung you that way, yeah, now your club's going in that direction, right? So that's bad. That's a slice, right? So come back over here. So do your setup. Now swing your arm back toward me. See where I am? I'm kind of on the line.
Okay.
That's straightish, right? That's straightish. But what we want in the golf swing is we actually want a little bit inside.
Okay, so slightly inside.
Yep, slightly kind of over like where your heels are, where your hips are. That's where you want your swing. Then you go backhand and you whip, and it follows through. So now do your right hand. All right, so take your right hand, put it on the stick, right hand only, pull back, kind of look at me. Well, whip like you're whipping toward me first, and then the momentum carries you through the ball. So pull the stick back, all right, you're loaded up, you got your chest pulled back, you got your arm pulled back, you're about to go wham. Well, don't go wham over here, because if you wham across, it's going to exit over here. That's going to be bad, right? So pull it back behind you again, right? Now wham, kind of where my hand is, back here. So go ahead, whip it, and go all the way through. There you go. All right, so now we just fixed your swing path. So now that we have a little bit of structure, so there's this athletic kind of wildness, right? Kind of feels a little wild and crazy, and that's why it's perplexing that it's going straight, right? That's kind of the smoke and mirrors part. But now if we take your driver, so grab your driver. All right, so just take your setup, not to the ball, but to a practice swing. Yep. And you're standing, relax tall. Very good. Pull the club back and stop. Yeah, wind up all the way and then look back at me. Now, if you're looking at me here, and I said throw that club over here to the right, and you whipped it out over that way toward like where you parked your cart, what's going to happen is it's going to swing left across your body. That's going to be bad. That's what causes the slice, is when you swing across your body that way. Okay. So we're going to go back here, pull your elbows back, bend your elbows, relax them. Now see where my hand is way over here to the left? Throw it toward my hand and then go through the ball. So it's like an extension. Throw, you whip it around that way. There you go. So let's do some practice swings. So take your setup, pull your arms back, and throw back over here. So let's look back here. I'm going to put this TrackMan head cover kind of over in this area. So make a backswing and throw kind of toward the TrackMan, and then let the momentum go all the way through the ball. There you go. Right, so it's an arc. It's a little bit of a circle that we're creating.
Oh, nice.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Yep. So big wind up. Nice big turn with the hips. Throw back there. And then it whips around on a circle. So let's do 3 or 4. I'll just let you kind of enjoy this new thing that you learned.
What about my right thumb?
Yeah, we're going to fix your grip a little bit, but for right now, just put it wherever's kind of comfortable. Yep, nice big backswing. Bend your elbows, relax your arms. Yep, throw back on a circle. Right? So I'm going to trade places with you just so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So here, the phone's kind of overheating. Come back over here.
Yeah.
And just hold it. You can still see me, but it's hard because the screen's going dark. Right, so we talked about this, right? Picking it up here. Well, now you're going to throw in this space.
Oh, okay.
So that the circle goes around. So when you set up to a ball, you don't pull back and throw at the ball. You're not throwing the speed here. You throw it into an arc like this, and then when you throw it into the circle, it runs into the ball.
Oh.
Right? So you throw it this way, and the club comes around the circle like that. It's like baseball, I would be here, and I would be throwing it on this circle, right?
Right.
Golf, I'm pulling back here, I'm throwing it on this circle, and it comes all the way around.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, give it a shot. So do a couple practice swings. Good. Yep. Yeah, that was better. Take that driver, flip it over, and grab the other end for me. All right, now I want you to make a swing, and I want you to hear the sound, the swish. Good. Now if you had to kind of put your finger on the loudest location, where would it be?
Probably like around here.
Yeah, try again and see if you can listen for it. Relax your arms for sure. Wrists, pull it back, whip it through.
Back here.
Yeah. So what we want is we want the beginning of all that sound, all that power, happening way back over here.
Okay.
Because we need that club to take time for that momentum to build up.
Okay.
Right? So flip the club over, and now try to make that same swishing noise. Right? So pull back behind you, nice big rotation of the hips, and then throw it back, way back where TrackMan cover is, way back over there. Much better, much better. That's your golf swing. So it's fast, it's fierce, right?
It's violent.
Violent. Yeah, it's violent. You pull it back, you create a lot of speed, you throw it, wham, perfect. Now let's put a ball in the way of that. All we're doing at this point is hoping we make contact. Alright? If we do, it's going to be, you know, the greatest day of your life. No, just kidding, but it's going to be pretty cool if we make contact. If we don't make contact, we don't care because we got a whole pile of balls to try it.
Alright.
Yep. So, same thing.
Stand up.
Yep. Big rotation, big throw. Let's see if we get the ball in the middle of all that swishing. Good. Very good. Now, that was a beautiful swing. Could you tell where the club missed the ball?
It was over here.
Yeah. So what do you think you have to do?
Step back a little bit.
Perfect.
There we go.
That was hard to figure out. Right? Because you've never thrown the club this hard before, probably?
No.
Yeah. So since you've never thrown it this hard, what happened there was your body set up to a point that you thought was going to be correct. Centrifugal force, however, showed you where to stand. You just created all that force, all that momentum swung out, went around the ball to the outside. So let's just stand a little further and see what happens. Man, the smoke is nuts today.
Yeah, seriously.
All right, big back swing. Chuck it again, see what happens. Holy cow. It's kind of nuts, huh?
What are we doing?
Yeah, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
What happened? Did we just transport you into someone else's body here? Check this out. All right. So you were a little out of range on TrackMan, so we don't have the club speed number right here.
All right.
But look at this. That was your club speed before, right? 101. That one went over here. Total of 255. It still tracked the ball. When it tracked the ball, it went here. Right there. It went 320.
Wait, I just hit 320?
Yeah. With a little draw.
Excuse my English, but or part of my French, but what the fuck? Chris, what the fuck?
Yeah, right? Craig.
Sorry, Craig.
Yeah.
Apologies.
Yeah. Nuts, right? So, and the whole reason is you're an athletic guy, but you weren't being athletic. You were being robotic.
Yeah.
Yeah, you built a robot that moved at maybe 70, 75 miles an hour. We never actually hit one because I was about to throw up earlier and I didn't want to.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's get past that. So yeah, let's do it again. Let's put the TrackMan in range so if we get some speed on your club on this one.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, so same thing, same routine there. Nice big tall setup. Right, now where are you going to throw this thing? Like there's this arc, right? There's this place. It kind of...
Yeah, throw it towards the track, or at least a little bit to the left of the TrackMan right now.
Yeah.
Cover.
Perfect. All right, let's try it again. Yeah, big backswing. And just go for it. That's all right. So what happened on that one, which is a little different than happened before, is you kind of lost your footing because you went so far back in your backswing that you kind of came up on your toes. You're a little wobbly. So
Okay.
we'll just delete that one and try another one.
Yeah.
Get after it with your hands and arms, not your legs, right? So pick your arms up, relax them, pull it way far back. I think you're standing a little close. So I'm going to show you a little setup thing you can do. This will make total sense, right? Now, if I was like, all right, Julian, I don't want you to hit that ball. I want you to hit this ball on the tee over here. Where would you put the driver?
Like right here?
Yeah, you'd hover it right up behind the ball. Well, that ball is also not on the ground.
Oh, okay.
So hover it. That'll help you get your distance, right? Because now you're hovering, now you're thinking, all right, I can smack the crap out of this ball. If I wind up and chuck it on this circle like I'm supposed to, it's going to be clear for takeoff. So go for it. Fine. Good job. Right, so now what we did get, which is cool, come on over here, is we got this 110 mile an hour club head speed. Right, it's hard to see all that.
There we go.
Right, so we got 110, 109.9 on the club head speed, right? So that's cool. Now we didn't get contact because you hit the bottom of the club face, it rolled along the ground. But we don't care, we're having too much fun. Go do that again. Right? Yeah, because in the last year of you playing golf, you would fit into what I would call the sneaky short category, which is kind of a golf term for, like, I'm not a big guy, but I hit it really far. So I'm sneaky long. Like someone looks at me and go, I can hit it past that guy, and then all of a sudden this little guy kills it, right? Because I'm teaching you the same stuff that I do. Well, you're a big strong guy, but you would have been kind of like powder puffing it out there, and people that you played with, friends, relatives, would have been like, wow, he's so strong, why does he not hit it anywhere? Well, this is why. Now, next time you play with any of those same people, their mind's just gonna get blown. So relax the arms, relax the shoulders. Yep, balanced in your feet. Big wind up, big throw. Yeah, good adjustment. That was good. Fine. Right? So that was 107, right? So we're still moving the club pretty fast. The reason why you mishit was, again, because you got a little speed wobbles, like your balance wasn't that good and your timing of your throw was a little bit off. Right? So it's fine, do it again. Yeah. I think you're starting to kind of get a feel for this, though. This is good. So let's talk about the right hand, because this is how it's going to help give you a little bit of control. Right? So take your left hand off the club. Right? Right here, you're kind of all in the palm. This is fine, but I want this finger to come down a little and that thumb to pinch here. Right, so now go like this for me, like turning a key. Right, this is going to give you a little bit more kind of feel, control right here in the hand as to where that club face is.
Okay.
Right, so put your left hand on there and then kind of waggle that club back and forth. Right, so what I want is the wrists to feel like, yeah, okay, I kind of know where the face is a little bit. So instead of gripping it kind of in the palm, gripping it a little more in the fingers, and especially getting a sense, getting a sense for that thumb and finger, like using a key to turn, like where's the face. Right, now pull that club back. Let's do a practice swing. Pull it way far back. Right, and just stop, relax up there. Right, now here's another cool thing. Now that your hand is in this position right here, what's going to happen is you're going to be able to load up. Right, so I'm going to place a little resistance at this end, push against me, wham, 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 wham. So it actually comes out of the wrist, right? Just as much as it comes out of the forearm, elbows, right? So then you take your wrist and you go wham, back here toward the TrackMan cover, and then whoosh, all the way through.
Okay, so it's like almost like a smooth two wrist arm.
Yep, so you go wrist, so you load up, so go back and stop. So elbows, wrists, and then wham. There you go. So it's like this throwing motion. right? So I'll show you. This is why I call it a throw, because it's literally a throw. Take that in your right hand. Now if I said take that ball and throw it out into the range, see what you did with your finger? You just put it there, right? Now, if I said lift that club up in the air, right, or lift the ball up in the air, now throw it at that cover. There it is. Go ahead, throw it at the cover. Wham. Now that's how you're gonna throw. Wham. So pick your driver up, hook it in that finger, like you're throwing a ball, pull it back behind you, and throw it back to the cover, and then let it go all the way, right? So it's a big rotation. So what happens is the throwing motion back there creates momentum all the way through. So I'm going to do it right here. I'll hold the camera. Watch this. So watch what happens to my arm. I throw down beside me, but watch what happens to it. It swung through. So I put the energy here, but the momentum goes through. Make sense? There. Yeah. So pick up your driver, load it up in that throwing finger, pull it up behind you, throw it behind you, and then continue the momentum through. Wham! It's all one motion, but it's a throwing type motion. So you pull it up behind you, load it up in the fingers, and chuck it. There you go, right? So we want to try to make it as fluid as we can. There's really maybe a tiny pause, but maybe no pause at all. Load it up and then chuck it. There it is. That was your best swing ever right there. I love that swing. Do it again. Yeah, pull it back and kind of throw it behind you. Wham. All right, now let's let the ball get in the way of that. I feel sorry for this golf ball. Yeah, pull it back and then just kind of work on that throw. There you go. All right, so now we just hit a nice draw. We drop kicked it slightly, but you can see what's happening now. This is cool, right? I mean, you're not guiding it, you're not robotic, you're not hitting any slices. You haven't hit one slice really. That one there was slight drop kick, but it was a draw. That club head speed was 102 miles an hour and you hit it 270. So we'll just keep it going. You want a drink of water?
No thanks.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, go for it. If you want one, we have water cooler back here, so
okay, thank you.
Just let me know. Yep. Get the club in that throwing finger, relax the hands so it's pretty light pressure. Big load up and a big throw. Bam, love that one. That was cool. Now you moved a little too much, took your eye off the ball, blah blah blah. We don't care, because right now at this point you're just trying to feel what it feels like to create this circle. So do it again, it's fine. We have plenty of room now that we know you're swinging at 110, and probably in the next few months you'll get to 115, even 120, right? So you'll be like, hey, I swing the club faster than the average tour pro. You probably never knew that was even in you. All right, so the average tour pro swings at maybe like 113 to 115, so you're right there already. So I wouldn't be surprised if you don't get there here even today. But relaxing and getting your arms to do all the work is huge, because what's happening right now is your feet, right? Everything's moving a little too much, and what happens is I call it the speed wobbles. So your balance shifts, your placement, your center of the low point of your swing shifts around. Bad stuff happens, right? Okay. So just leave the feet, maybe put them a little closer together. Yeah, there you go. And then just don't really use them. Kind of make a nice big shoulder turn. Use that throwing finger to kind of hold the club behind you, and then just chuck it on that circle. There you go. That's fine. So come over here and see what speed you got there. Right, 114. And that was some kind of a low hook that still went 276. Right? So, the reason, and you'll see it on video, when you get to this point, just rewind 30 seconds, you'll see that your face was looking back at me at the camera. Because your eyes, you're like, I gotta throw here, I gotta throw here. That's cool. Well, now what I want you to do on the next few swings is
stare at the ball.
Throw here, but look at the ball.
Okay.
Don't look back at where you're trying to throw. See if you can feel where to throw it instead of like looking where to throw it. Just keep your eyes on the ball, but feel like you're still throwing it back there. And your head can move a little, so like do a backswing and stop. I'll show you.
Okay.
So do this big wind up, big shoulder turn, everything, and just pause. Good. You can still see the ball, right?
Yeah.
But it's out of the corner of your
It's
sunglasses.
down.
You're looking at it like barely out of the corner. And that's okay, as long as you can still see it. But the more important thing is, once you're still looking over here, throw that through that way, right? So try a practice swing. So turn back and stop. Keep your eyes on the ball, but throw where you know you're supposed to throw. Throw it behind you. Yeah, throw it back that way. Yep. So let's try it with the ball. So see, we are refining this reckless abandon. I'm not just saying swing crazy. Like, there is some cool stuff you're learning along the way here. Yep, so you got the club in the throwing finger, right? You're going to make a nice big backswing, keep your eye on the ball, and then try to figure out that angle of that throw. There you go. Nice. All right, that was a 107 club head speed, and took off and hit a little draw. All right, so we'll just keep it going. One of the things that you're going to have to continue to work on is just relaxing, because right now as you go back in your backswing, that left arm is way too stiff. Yeah, it's a false thing that a lot of people get taught in the golf swing. If I gave you your weed whacker stick again and I said swing it just with your left arm only, there would be no point you would stiffen that left arm. Right?
Right.
You would just bend it, whack and whack and whack. So that's what that left arm has to do.
Okay.
So same thing with the right arm. Switch it back into your right arm. Yep, just pull it back, whip it through, pull it back, whip it through. Now whip it back toward the TrackMan back there, the cover. So pull it back, chuck it that way. Boom, that's what creates a circle. So do that again. There it is. Look how quickly. So notice how quickly you whip the stick through, and you don't really use your legs. You don't really try to push off the ground or anything. Pull it back and just whip it with your right arm. That's it. Now, when you take a driver, I don't want you to think of it any differently than what you just did.
Okay.
Right? So do it two hands. Yep. Pull it back and then whip the stick. That's it. That's all you need to do. That swing that you just swung there was 122 miles an hour as a guess. That'd be fun. Let's do that.
Let's do that.
Let's do that. I'm just guessing, but it was pretty darn close, I think. So pull it back. Think of it as this tiny little stick. Just pull it back and whip it. There you go. Hello. I'll just let you stand there and admire that for the 12 seconds of hang time that it's got. Right, so that was cool. So that one there was your best drive, almost your best drive of the day. See, that was a 105 club head speed. Your total distance was 306, right? So 105, 306. Your best one was that one that went 319. But we also know you've hit 105. we also know that you've hit 114. So if we can get 114 with that level of contact, or even a little better, we might hit 350. So now you see how some of these guys on TV do it, right? They just maybe had a good coach, or they had some good, they were started when they were like 5 years old, and as they got bigger and stronger, their swing was already built. So
building the swing.
Yeah. So you've got the speed. We already saw 114. Let's see if we can throw that stick a little bit better and get both speed and contact. Yep. There you go. Now we're hitting it over the trees at the end of the range. That was pretty cool. Yeah, just whip it, right?
Just whip it.
Yep, so that was a 110 clubhead speed, and it flew a little higher in the air, so it only went to 300 yards total. Only.
But I was about to say, up until this point, I was happy with like 205. Like, I kid you not, you just added 100 yards.
100 yards. Yeah, I didn't realize you were that bad.
It was pretty bad. I was not happy.
I can tell you that when I saw you start your warm-up, checklist procedure, for countdown for launch or whatever there, I was like, I got to record this because, number one, you're not going to believe it. Number two, nobody else is going to believe it unless we capture it on video, so that's why I'm still recording. Because I knew we were going to get here. So, load it up in that throwing finger. Relax the arms, neck, shoulders. Pull it back and then whip it as fast as you want. There you go. I think you're going to be happy with that one. Nice little draw too, right?
I've hit it more that way today than all of
this last year.
I did not want to hit the driver. Like, that's how bad I was.
Yeah. Well, that was a 109 speed, and it went 308 total. There we go. Sorry, I said 108. I cheated you a mile. That's 109. 109 and 308. So we've seen a 114.
Let's get that.
You must be getting tired or something.
All right.
Yeah. So remember, it's this stick, right? This is what you're whipping. Not whipping your hips. You're not whipping your legs. You're not whipping your body. Load up. Get it loaded up in that throwing finger, and then create speed with your hands and wrists and arms. That way the speed is applied to the ball. Because if you go back like this and create all this speed with your legs, yeah, you could probably get 120, but you might not even ever make contact. So let's figure out how to whip it with the hands first, and then maybe at some point we'll get everything else into it. But at this point we don't need that. We just want to get the hands and arms into it. Go for it. Take a breath and then really crank this one. Boom. Love it. There you go. 111. Nice work. Right, we got 111 pretty solid. That was super high. Right? So, and then what we're dealing with here, which is really cool. You're still looking, you're still watching. Let me see this, right? So at this point you have a 10.5 degree in a regular flex, right? So when you were swinging at 70 miles an hour to begin with, and I'm gonna call powder puffing it out there 205 with a weak slice, right? That was the old you. That guy's gone. Adios forever. Now this driver might have worked for that type of speeds. Well, now you've just jumped up from a regular to a stiff to an extra stiff in your speeds, and you've also reduced loft. So now instead of a 10.5, you need to be swinging like an 8 degree or something like that. Because now we're dealing with launch. We're dealing with this ballistics of an object being launched. Currently, all your launch numbers are not good because your speed just went through the roof. So now this is where we kind of talk about fitting you for clubs and doing all that kind of stuff.
Let's do it.
Right? Because if you can swing, if you have the potential to do what you just did today, and if I let you keep the clubs that you have, that would be the worst disservice I could ever do. Because your swing will go back to this baby swing again because your clubs are too short, shafts are wrong, all that kind of stuff, right? So this is going to be a good day for you.
This is going to be a great day for me.
All right, so tee up another one. And then what I'll do is I'll stop the video at, once we talk about equipment.
Okay.
Right now it's a full, 45 minutes of you going through this transformation, which is super cool. So let's see if we can really smack one here. And in fact, what I'll do is I'll grab another driver real quick, just another one that you can try.
Okay.
Hit this one and then we'll try another one. Regular, not stiff enough. Let's grab one over here. Let's see. It's a stiff, 9.5 stiff, 10.5, 8.5. 8.5 regular. So, all right, go for it. Nice. All right, so it's a 106 club head speed. And
so I pulled it. Wasn't hitting hard.
What's that?
Wasn't hitting it hard.
No. Yeah, you kind of must have clamped down. Maybe muscles got a little tight. You were standing there for a little too long. So I'm going to have you hit this driver. This is an 8.5. Now again, it's not the right shaft. It just happened to be sitting back there. This is a lower loft. So it's a similar flex, so that's probably a good thing actually to start with. But as you hit this one, what we should see is some better spin rate numbers, lower launching. So if you can create that 110, 115 club head speed, if we launch it out lower, it'll travel further. So take a couple swings with this one and then we'll wrap up this video. So load up the finger, big relaxed wind up. All right, now you got to throw it sooner. Right now you're waiting a little too long. So right from the top of your swing, chuck it with that finger. Okay. Yeah. That's better, right? So all that swishing has to happen back here. Yeah. All right, try with the ball. See what happens. Yep. Yeah, that's fine. Pushed out a little bit. It was 110 club head speed. The ball speed was better. It was over 160 miles an hour, which is good. And it drifted out a little right. We didn't get the timing of that throw. But let's wrap up the video, Julian. What do you think? What do you think about what we just did in 49 minutes?
You rescued me. That's my thing. At least you rescued my ego.
Yeah, right?
I was pretty bruised there for a bit.
Yeah, you don't want to be sneaky short, right? You don't want to be this. You don't want to be able to bench press a golf cart and then hit it shorter than everybody else.
Yeah.
And, and basically the result of that was you started down a pathway with your golf instruction about a year ago, you said, and it was fine. Like, I'm not going to ever blame any instructor or any method. Well, it's just different.
He was also shorter than you.
Okay.
So he had a process.
Sure.
And he definitely got me at least playing.
Yeah.
So I have
Yeah.
qualms with the way he taught me or anything, because he got me in love with the game.
Exactly, right, which is great. And now you're here, and now I get to work with you and help you to just kind of get better, right?
And now, yeah.
And so that's where you started. And part of it, you know, part of what happens with people too is maybe they start with clubs that weren't the right size for them to begin with.
Those were $200.
Yeah, right. It's a beginner set, and then your swing kind of gets formed around that, and blah blah blah. So what we want to do is I want to unleash this athlete so that you can actually swing, and then let's custom fit the equipment to the new athlete, not the old one, right? So far we've been able to pick up 115 yards on the driver, and we haven't even hit an iron yet. Right? So good job, you did awesome.
Thank you.
Oh, can I put this on YouTube?
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is a fun one.
Yeah, absolutely.